Behind the Rouse family. I'm suing you.
This is, no, I think, this is the worst I've seen him in the defensive court since he's been here. Yeah, they're usually not this bad. They're not playing together either. Spend a lot of time on the field too, because we're not good on third down. We're losing every time possession game.
Put on random, you hit the kicker on fourth down.
See, so he's running them. He's running them. He's having them do suicides, which you do. But now, so that don't work. The next step is what you do is what my coach did. You're out of the ball game. And you're either going to stay out the whole game, or you're going to be out at least a quarter, or you're going to be out 2 possessions. You cut out the game. And that's the worst thing for an athlete to look at, and you're seeing the game go on, and you can't play. That's the worst thing you can do.
Yep, that's where
Because it's killing him.
Perry, don't leave stranded in Daytona.
Don't leave me stranded in Daytona. Come on, we go down the boardwalk.
Now you on your own.
Go to the Speedway.
I'm giving him access.
You're doing the right thing. Fuck Daytona. Daytona is a big ass.
I've been there before. Yeah.
My brother got married there. The only thing that's good is we jet skied in the Daytona River, but I lost some fucking $400 off of people's shades. The fucking river is 8 but about 4 feet deep. I didn't realize I could stand in that bitch. Look, I lost my fucking shades, and I'm like, damn man, turned around and me and my daughter fell off. I'm like, fuck.
Testing 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, You got it?
Yep.
What's up, Coach? Is he getting his food? I'm assuming he's ready, right?
He's ready.
He's ready? All right, we'll begin. All right, Southern takes on Bethune-Cookman. SWAC game. Jaguars come in at 1-4 overall, 0-1 in the SWAC. Bethune-Cookman 2-4, lost their first SWAC game this weekend against Alabama State. They're 1-1. They're from the SWAC East. Obviously, we're from the SWAC West. Game time is 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Time fluctuated back and forth. I don't know what it was on Go Jag Sports, but it fluctuated back and forth. So Rodney and I confirmed with Bethune-Cookman what time it was going to start, and that's, again, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Daytona Stadium, it's only the second time we've been to Daytona Stadium. Back in 1988, we've been there. On the website, it says we were there in 06. We were at Jacksonville in 06. This game has been played in Baton Rouge, Atlanta one time, at the Georgia Dome, and Daytona one time, Jacksonville the rest of the times. We're in the smallest SWAC stadium there is, 9,601 capacity. Game will be on SWAC TV. Also be on radio on Q106.5, locally Baton Rouge. Southern is 7-0 against Bethune-Cookman, never lost a game. Last year's game, 25-23, Southern won in 5 overtimes. We got a 2-point conversion because you have to go forward on the 2-point conversions in 5 overtimes. They tried to do it, and they did not get it. Kobe Dillon was the one who scored on that 2-point conversion. So, again, we are ready for this game. Southern will leave via commuter plane on Friday, and right after the game, we'll be back immediately after that. All right? Without further ado, is the one and only Coach Terrence Graves.
Good afternoon. I think it's good afternoon. How's everybody doing today? It's been another open date. We had a great week of practice last week. Guys really practiced and locked in and honed in on first we went over corrections and things of that nature, worked on us, and then we got into Bethune-Cookman. We started that. We worked all the way up to Friday, gave them a couple of days off, and came back on Sunday and continued our preparations for Bethune-Cookman. And today we had a good practice yesterday, and we'll go out there again today. And this is a good football team. Coach Woody has done a really good job, and his staff have really recruited and developed those guys, and they do a really good job of what they're doing, offensive, defensively, and special teams wise. And our guys understand that we're going to have to play well to go down there in a tough environment to come out with a win.
Coach, what was the, benefit of having two, not back-to-back, but really close together 5 weeks?
What helps, definitely helps with injuries. We had a number of guys that got banged up and some guys that couldn't go from the Fresno State game. And then we had some guys get banged up a little bit in the Jackson game. So it helps those guys rest and recover, and hopefully we'll get the majority of those guys back.
Do you have an update on Jalen Woods? Could he possibly get some playing time soon?
Well, he's practicing. He started practicing last week, actually. And we're just waiting to see how he progresses every single day. So we're not ruling it out, but we'll see how it goes. And again, the doctor will always give us he's cut loose and he can go and all that good stuff. But he looks good out there moving around and stuff like that. And he's happy to be out there, and he's, you can tell that he's really trying to get back into the flow of things. So it's good to see him out there.
Coach, speaking of quarterbacks, this team, Bethune-Cookman, has used 2 quarterbacks, though, every single game they played this year. They're second in the league in passing. What makes their team so good at passing the football?
Well, they're 2 left-handed athletic quarterbacks, first and foremost. And they do a great job of they're doing the RPO deal as well. And so a lot of the yards may be a bubble, the curl route, those things, and the receivers do a great job of running after the catch. And so, that's what helps them accumulate a lot of yards. And then they do a lot of big play stuff. You know, opening game, the last couple of games, they opened up and you know, big plays, touchdowns. And so, you know, you got to pay attention to those things. But they do a good job of stretching you. You know, they do a great job of horizontally stretching you. And if you don't have the numbers, the quarterbacks are doing a great job of just taking what the defense is giving them. So, you know, those guys are doing a good job with that. And I know Cam Ransom, the starting quarterback, he got banged up a little bit last week against Alabama State, but I'm sure that he'll probably be back this week. But McClain is a very capable quarterback as well. And then his number 3, he's a right-handed quarterback. His name escapes me right now, but he does a good job. He came in a little bit last week with McClain after Ransom went out. So they've done a good job of getting those guys that you know, fit what they're trying to do schematically.
With their ability to take those short passes to them for long games, you know, has there been a big discussion about, you know, tackling on first contact and how, you know, letting guys get to that next level?
There's been a big emphasis on tackling, period. We've been working on that. You know, you can't give guys yak yards or rack yards, as the offensive guys say. So it's just, but they do a great job. It's how they get their yards is those guys they look for teams to spot drop. And if they spot drop, those receivers do a great job of converting, running to the open areas, open windows, and buys time for the quarterback. And now it's just catch and throw. So you gotta do a better job. You gotta do a really good job of making sure that we match up with those guys and make sure that they don't just run free. And again, you gotta have some pressure on the quarterbacks as well, because those guys, if you don't get pressure on them and they can stand back there and find those open guys, then that's what makes those guys really effective.
Well, Horatio Johnson, you think that won't have you practice this week?
He should be available. He's running around out there. You know, he had that situation with Fresno and got pulled early against Jackson, but he should be ready to go.
I think also offensive lineman Brian Wallace, what's his health status?
He's back practicing. Yeah, he's back practicing. It's good. He started last Thursday, so he's moving around. So it's good to have him back as well.
We didn't get to talk to you last week, but I guess after taking a look at the film, what was your takeaway from the momentum shift, you know, at the end of the first half going into the second half?
Just missed opportunities and assignments. You got to be able, and then you got to be able to execute. Again, you got to be able to capitalize when you have an opportunities. And so that's stuff that we talk about. We talk about, we got another acronym. We talk about AME, and we're not talking about the church. We're talking about attitude, mindset, and execution. So that's the thing that we've been talking about and we've been harping on. And listen, these guys have done a great job of buying in. These guys are working hard. You know, of course, we definitely didn't expect to be where we are record-wise, but the reality is what it is. But these guys are fighting hard. They're coming to work every day and putting it all on the line. And I tell them, just continue to do what we're doing and clean up some of the things that we're doing, and this thing will flip. So, you know, of course, we're focusing on this game and what we got to do here. So the challenge is to be better this week in everything that we do in order for us to give ourselves a really good chance of winning the ball game.
How much have y'all kind of discussed that mental hurdle as far as like whenever something goes bad, like not getting too down on yourself, just trying to stay locked in and know there's more ball games to play?
Well, I talk about all the time, being even keeled. Don't get too high, don't get too low, just stay even keeled. And those guys understand that, and some guys that haven't been around or new, now they're starting to conceptualize it. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. You just got to stay even keel. And when you do that, then that's how you handle that. It's not, you know, I tell them all the time, you play this game with emotion, but you can't play it emotional. And that's a huge difference. And sometimes getting emotional gets in the way of playing a game with great emotion, and it causes you to do things that you wouldn't typically do.
Is there any kind of desperation or just extra hunger to avoid starting 0-2 in this way?
Nope, none whatsoever. I mean, our thing is, again, we live in the precious present. We're not going to put any more pressure on these guys than they already have pressure. We're going to go out and we're going to play and we're going to execute. We have not even talked about anything of that nature. Our mindset is to go and play as well as we can play to put ourselves in position to win. So No, we're not. We're never going to talk about any pressure. These guys understand that there's a sense of urgency because they want to win. We want to win, and so because of that, that's how we approach the game.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, go Jags.
Now introducing Juan Gonzalez.
Good afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon. How are y'all today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Full of classes today.
Floor is open for questions.
Juan, when it comes to having a bye week, I guess sort of really close together, do you feel like that's helped the team sort of improve on what they need to improve on?
Yeah, I think it helps us improve the details. You know, we're always told be attentive to the detail, be detailed about the details. So I feel like, you know, two bye weeks they're really back to back. You know, bye week, Jackson, bye week. I feel like we've grown a lot as a team and gelled together.
What are the details, I guess, with the goal line that you guys been working on?
Where when we shine, we got to keep shining. We'll have flashes, we got to keep flashing. Where we can be as good as we want to be. We got to consistently do it every play.
How would you assess y'all, the O-line, y'all performance overall through the season?
Performance-wise, like that last question, we have moments we shine, and then there's moments, you know, we get behind the chains, penalties, all self-inflicted wounds. And those are easy fixes. And I feel like from the first game on, we've been steadily, slowly getting better. And we just need to take advantage of the big plays.
Is there any sense of, I guess, panic in y'all locker room? I guess, y'all 1-4. I mean, do you feel like things kind of, you know, slipping?
Nah. So almost every day team meeting with Coach Graves, he says, we are 1-4. That's the reality of it. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. He says you got to stay even kill. And that's the team mentality right now. We got to show up.
Look at Bethune-Cookman's defense that preached almost last in every category. But what do you see? What do they do well?
I think they play with a lot of energy. They play with heart. I look at them as another opponent. I mean, this is the next game. We got to win this.
Do you think this could be a good momentum shift for you guys in a positive way to get this win this weekend?
Momentum or not, it got to get done. It's a must-win game. Every game is a must-win game. I don't know many teams that are 1-4 that still have a chance to win the championship. So, I mean, every game from now is a must-win.
How y'all kind of connected with Ashton, being the fact that he came to the team kind of late?
I don't think. I mean, hey, Ashton's a great guy. He friends with all the O-line. I know, especially all of us. He calls us all family. We're his family. We want to protect him like he's our family. I like all of our quarterbacks, though. I mean, Ashton, McCoy, Jay Woods, even our freshman Compton. I feel like there's no drop-off. They all want to be the starter. They all practice like they want to be the starter.
As a unit, is it kind of difficult for you guys to gel, already playing 3 different quarterbacks early in the season?
No, like I said before, they all, O-line meets with quarterbacks sometimes. We all talk about the same thing. We all have the same mission. They all want the same goal. They all mechanics, all that.
Last question.
I guess how big is it to have a guy like Wallace back in the line?
It's real big, when one of us go down, it's like we're not together. We're family. So one of us go down, we all go down. So I feel like having him back it's a great asset to have back.
Thank you. Thanks, Juan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now introducing Mike Jones Jr.
Good afternoon, how y'all doing?
The floor is open for questions.
I guess after losing a game like Jackson State, having that bye week, is there, what's the feeling or the atmosphere like at Southern practice and just in the locker room?
It hurt. It hurt a lot. Me being here since Dooley, it hurt.
Does that kind of fuel you guys moving forward?
Absolutely. Absolutely feels us.
How have you guys kind of taking that fuel into practice to try to get a win this weekend?
Attention to detail. Just keep it simple. Attention to detail. You know, I feel like we played a pretty good game. There was a lot of stuff that was left out on the field, but it's the next game that matters, period.
What kind of stuck out to you more after that Jackson State game? I guess the 300 plus passing yards or the 200 rushing yards?
I'd say it was a few things. First thing I'd say is the penalties. We had a lot of penalties, period. We need to clean that up.
What would you say you guys emphasized the most during this 5 weeks?
Emphasize the most, just reiterating attention to detail.
You know, Bethune, one of those teams that they like to throw a lot of those short underpasses and then take it to the house. How much of an emphasis is, I guess, tackling upon first contact?
It's a big emphasis, just like any team. Obviously, you know, we're all D1 football players. Anybody can make a good play at any given game. So, you know, don't take any opponent for granted.
I know it's a different position from you, but when it comes to the ratio coming back for this upcoming game, I guess how big is that to have him for hopefully a full
It's a big impact. Horatio, he's a veteran guy, so we look forward to having him back.
Last question.
I guess, how young the guys are on the interior defensive line? I guess how have you and Vince kind of help those guys kind of get up to speed?
Just talk to them every single play, just making sure everyone's gap and alignment is straight. You know, helping those younger guys, you know, filling that veteran role.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Mike, can you prefer Michael or Mike? Mike, you got to make sure about that.
Appreciate y'all.
Yep.
All right, thanks,
Have a good one. You can go in there and grab your book.